Hey, let's look quickly at what we're going to do in this course. So it's a little bit different than what we've done in previous years. So for the grade 10 urban art, so this is, you probably noticed on your timetable, if you saw one, the code is actually an art history code. So what it is there's no actual code for urban art. So what we've done is it's an art history sort of focus on urban art. So that includes street art and graffiti and tattoos and any sort of modern contemporary art. So things that are happening right now. So it's going to have social justice sort of theme, and I'm going to do as much as I can to talk about to do things that interest you, and it's going to be as hands-on as possible. Okay, so we're going to try 6 units. And the first one we're going to try is the creative process. So we're going to look at your sketchbooks. We're going to look at making a typography portrait. We're going to do a unit in tattoos. Then we're going to move on to graffiti. We're going to do some logo design and talk about art for social change and how logos can be the medium for a powerful message to create social change. We're going to look at some digital art through illustration and the way that urban artists use this. Then we're going to compare graffiti to street art, and we're going to try some cool street art portraits. Now, again, we're only have 10 weeks together, so I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that we have enough time to do everything. So these are the projects during the course that are going to count for 100% of the final mark. So as of right now, there's no exam or final project for this course, but this may change. So I just want you to be aware of that. We've never had a written exams for this course. So what we would do instead of for an exam, and we have a final project that's worth 30% of your final mark. So what has happened is the Durham District School Board has proposed that we have no exams or final projects only because it's such a short time period. We're just waiting for the Ministry of Education just to approve that. We still haven't got an answer back. So just be aware that this may change. So if this does change, all it would happen is just I think our last project we'll just do as our final sort of exam project. So don't worry about that, okay? So each one of your projects is going to be divided into 3 strands. So this is just nice to know. There's creating and presenting. So it's actually making the work and the process of actually making the work. And then reflecting, responding, and analyzing. So that's you sort of writing about your art and reflecting about your art, talking about other artists and your interests, and how, your ideas behind things. And then foundation, it's just talking about sort of the knowledge of sort of the art history and the techniques. So all the projects that we're going to be doing in each one of those projects, I'm going to make sure that I integrate those 3 strands in it. So they have different weightings. So you can see the actual making and of the artwork is worth for 50% of each project. And then, it's sort of like any quizzes, if we have one, or any sort of written work, anything that's worth less. So these are our different projects that we're going to be doing, and how many marks that they're all out of and how much of the course they'll be worth. So as you can see, as we sort of progress through each project, the more and more independent you'll be, and so the more that tools that you have to make each project, and so they end up being worth a lot more. Okay, so that's it. So unfortunately, there is no skateboard again for this course, so I'm sorry, but I'm hoping that if you can take it again next year, I'll make it up to you.